4 kids by 4 different people.
Yo, there's no hope for us right now.
Hold up, but let's.
And I'm not ashamed of saying it.
She belongs to the street.
And
You know what I'm saying? I done been.
No, it's something to be ashamed
You know,
of.
I done been young and I done done some
She
things.
should not be ashamed of that, because if we
Never. If I
look
want a
at
fifth baby
nigga-
daddy, I will give one.
If we look at a nigga perspective, you feel me? If a nigga, let's just say, if a nigga could get pregnant, you feel me?
We wouldn't have a lot of kids. I'm
Yes,
gonna tell you that
the
right.
fuck y'all
No,
would.
we wouldn't.
I did a
Yes,
show
y'all
on
would.
that.
Trust me,
I did a
no,
show
we
on
wouldn't.
I feel
that.
like dudes
I'll
wouldn't
be-
have a lot of kids
Hold on,
either.
let me
I
ask
don't
you
know
this.
why I feel that, but
Let me ask you
I felt
this.
that too.
You said she shouldn't be ashamed.
No.
So if you had a daughter,
welcome to the S.Banks&JD Network podcast. I'm your host, S.Banks, and I'm joined by my co-host.
JD,
So what are we talking about today?
my 7 baby mothers trapped me with 7 kids.
That sound like some Jerry Springer-ish
Yep.
or some Maury business.
Mhm.
But we got 3 clips for you today. Let's find out what's going on. Here's clip number 1.
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas.
what?
Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, yet not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the majority of times they'll either take the or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied.
Rejected.
Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them?
She belongs to the street.
Wait, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this shit and be like, black man this, black man that, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the end of that clip. First thing I'll say is this, right? Is he not highlighting the lack of some women's standards?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I want to add. Now, this clip goes both ways, but that's what came to me. Those women, he did what those women allowed him to do, which exposed their lack of standards. Don't worry, we'll talk about him in a second. But that's what came to me. What's your thoughts?
Well, I have a lot to say on both ends
I'm
of
sure
the
you do.
stick. On both ends of the stick. I'm not on either person's side here, okay? So I'm just going to say what I think, right? First of all, if, as a man, if you're so concerned about not having children with these women, right, who he calls jump-offs, right, they're nothing to him, then put something on your knob, That's what I'll first say. And take precautions to prevent these things from happening.
Well,
so,
but I hear what you're saying, but where he's coming from is, I don't give a F.
I know where it's coming from, but I'm just saying.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I'm just
Okay, cool.
highlighting his words.
Okay, cool.
I don't give a
He
F.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I have to say in regards to that. Don't flip and come on social media complaining about your 7 baby mothers with your 7 children that you don't want. Because first of all, no one cares.
I have to highlight, he said, and these 7.
Is that...
So
See, this is what I wanted to get into as well.
Yeah, touch on
Thank
that.
you. He said these 7. So then you are just out here on the street slinging your D, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere, right? Not just everywhere. You're doing it bareback. You're not even protecting your own stuff. Now, this is what my problem is also.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot complain if you get STDs or you have some form of problem or whatever.
You get something you can't get rid of.
You cannot complain about getting these women pregnant. You said, I've offered to pay for abortions multiple times. Or how many women are you getting pregnant? What are you talking about? What happened to some D-control as well? You should have D-control. And as a man, and this question goes to you, this question goes to the men in the audience as well. As a man, do you not hold your, what's a good way to say it as we're on, YouTube and stuff? A good way to hold your stuff.
Say what you say. I'll censor it.
Your sperm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not hold that as value? Like, is that not valuable to you? Because if you want lineage, right? Not all men do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want lineage, wouldn't you want to have that lineage with proper women, right? How are you just slinging it around and getting all these women pregnant that you say ain't nothing to you? You don't love them. You don't have no feeling to them. That's why I don't care about these children.
You're speaking from the perspective of decent men. Now, what I'm saying is this. If he's getting these multiple women pregnant, in our community, the black community, it's a small percentage of men that's getting most of the women pregnant. So
him clearly.
If you look at us as a community, right? Single motherhood, these are some of the reasons. Because women resonate for guys like him, and they copy and paste his DNA. Then when he doesn't want to step up, they go, "Oh, he's a deadbeat." Come on, he already showed you. Hold up, he already showed you off the rip. He showed you where it was. He said, "I ain't ish. I'm gonna do what you will allow me to do because I'm not ish." And then some women know that, see that, and they say, "Oh, I can change him. Oh, I don't care because I'm a boss B. I don't need no man." From when you got your own car, your own house, your own blah blah blah, I'm good. I can raise a child by myself. I don't need no man. And that's the mentality in the community. So you can't turn around and say deadbeat dad when he's already showed you he ain't ish.
See, this is where I agree with you, and this is where I'm gonna be on the women now. So I haven't finished with him, but I need to be even in this as well. Now, for the ladies, stop opening your legs and giving your womb to these so-called deadbeat men, right? Because that's what you say they are. In his situation, he's telling you he's a deadbeat. He's telling you he don't want no pitney. And if you do get pregnant, here's money for abortion. He is telling you he ain't looking after these children. He is telling you I do not want nothing to do with these kids.
You're a jump off. And I'll say this, right? Guys like him, and no shade to him, but men like that, they shouldn't even be getting the guts, much less getting women pregnant. But they are in large amounts. So then, yes, it's the man and the woman because there's two parties to it. But at the end of the day, he's telling you, I don't care if you put me on child support. I don't care if I got STD. I don't care if I get something I can't get rid of. I don't care if you get pregnant. I'm a deadbeat. I'm telling you this off the rip, and you can kind of see that. Women go, hey, he shouldn't even be getting the guts, much less getting anyone pregnant. That's a fact.
Some men shouldn't reproduce. They just shouldn't. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to reproduce. But I'll go back to the women again. Look, seriously, stop giving your room out to these sort of men. This is where it... No one wants to hear you then complain. Oh, he's a deadbeat. He don't do this. He don't look after his child. He don't... People don't want to hear it because you should have made better choices who you gave your womb to. Now, if he's offered, have an abortion, yes, I understand as a female, you may not want to do that. But then you need to not give your womb to these sort of men.
I'm sorry, but there's how many forms of birth control?
Exactly,
But
that
yet
as well.
Our women in particular choose to get pregnant, be a single mother, and go ahead and do their thing, right? Once upon a time, in our community particularly, when the men was around, when we had families and community, the men used to help the women vet. So if I have daughters and I'm in a female's life and she's saying to me, what do you think about this guy? You can't bring them kind of man to me because I already taught you off the rip. So when I'm helping you to vet, I get he can finesse the women. I get that because the women are going to say, maybe I find him attractive. Maybe I find masculine, whatever. Because I get why they like bad boys. I never said I don't understand. I get it. Because bad boys have that trait of that masculine energy that women are drawn to. I get all of that stuff, right? But I'm saying you're not suited. He's telling you I ain't ish, right? So back then, when men used to vet, things was different outcomes, right? But now they don't even respect the opinions of men. And when you look at guys like, they respect guys like this. They respect guys like that. But when you look at the Michael B. Jordans, he's corny. Guys like him are corny. He looks like he's responsible. He looks like he knows where his birth certificate is. And see, the thing is, I know they think they sound cute. I know they think they sound smart. But what I'm saying is that a man that's responsible is looked down on in the community. And a man that is a degenerate is praised. Now, if you look at that mentality, you got to think us as a group, as a people, you can understand why the people outside looking in is laughing at us. Like, come on.
Yeah.
A dude knows where his passport is. A dude has a license. A dude knows where to find his ID. He's corny for doing that. But a guy that says, here's some money to delete. Hey, I'm just saying. And then you wonder why. People's laughing at us. That's what I'm saying on that.
I would just say this one last thing. Having a child for a man, especially when he says to you, I do not want to have children, having a child for him is not going to keep him. He's not going to stay if you have a child with him. I think a lot of women actually do that. They think, if I have a child with him, then he's going to stay around. He's going to want
change.
me. No. When a man says something, believe him. If a man tells you, I don't want to have children, believe him.
That's true.
Just don't do it.
That's our thoughts on this clip anyway. You think he gets bad? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's clip number 2.
I have 4 kids by 4 different people.
Yo, there's no hope for us right now.
Hold up, but let's.
And I'm not ashamed of saying it.
She belongs to the street.
And
You know what I'm saying? I done been.
No, it's something to be ashamed
You know,
of.
I done been young and I done done some
She
things.
should not be ashamed of that because if we
Never.
if
I
look
want a
at
5th baby
nigga-
daddy, I will give her.
If we look at a nigga perspective, you feel me? If a nigga, let's just say, if a nigga could get pregnant, you feel me?
We wouldn't have a lot of kids. I'm
Yes,
gonna tell you
the
that right.
fuck y'all
No,
would.
we wouldn't.
I did a
Yes,
show
y'all
on
would.
that.
Trust me,
I did a
no,
show
we
on
I
wouldn't.
feel
that.
like dudes wouldn't have a lot of kids
Hold on,
either.
let me
I
ask
don't
you
know
this.
why I feel that, but
me ask you
I felt
this.
that too.
You said she shouldn't be ashamed.
No.
So if you had a daughter and she had 4 kids by 4 baby daddies, you would be proud of that?
If she was not married,
Not if. Would you be proud of that?
that she had 4 different.
That she had 4 different baby daddies. Would you be proud to say, you know what?
If she
I'm proud of what I raised.
If she handling her shit,
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Is she taking care of her kids? Is her kids fed?
See, I did say it gets worse, right?
You can't make this ish up.
So what we're seeing here is this is, remember I said before about once upon a time the men used to vet the women's boyfriends. This is when men were respected in our community. What we're now seeing is a lack of leadership. That's what's being displayed to me. I think that we need to bring back shaming because surely you can't be loud and proud about this. Let me read off something quickly. I have 4 baby daddies. I have 4 babies. 4 baby daddies. And if I want a 5th one, I'll get one. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I think you need to understand the mentality of that and the culture that we live in. When men were once respected in a community, things like this was never said. I have 4 children by 4 different men. And I will have a 5th one if I choose to, whatever.
I heard her loud and clear.
Whatever. Then you heard the other hyenas co-sign that. Then he asked, if your daughter recreated the same situation you did, 4 different men, 4 baby fathers, different baby fathers, how do you feel about that? As long as she's holding it down.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to intervene now.
As long as she takes care of, and I wrote down what she said. As long as she takes care of shit and the kids are fed, then that would be fine. That's her words, not mine.
It is her words. I'm sorry.
This is the reality of the culture today.
Should she be ashamed? Yes, the hell she should be ashamed, right? And like you said, and I heard very well too, she said if she wanted a 5th baby father, she'll go and get one. This means you have not learned your lesson from the 4 baby fathers you had previously. You haven't learned your lesson. And yes, it is very much a mentality. It's a mentality.
One, a mistake. 2nd one, you did on purpose. 3rd one, is now a fool. Now she's on the 4th one, but she's saying I'll have a 5th.
Exactly.
So
yeah, learn your lesson.
So then the dysfunction. How do we as a group move forward with this kind of dysfunction? And people, put your thoughts in the comments below. How do we as a group move forward with this kind of dysfunction?
You can't move forward. We're stuck.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, do that. Yeah. You can't move forward. How are you supposed to? I'm sorry. Let me just say this. I cannot have any sympathy for her. Just like we said before, right? She said that she would have a 5th baby father if she wanted to have one. You haven't learned your lesson. I have no sympathy for you. So when you're complaining and saying, oh, my baby fathers, plural, my baby fathers don't look after my children. They don't want to give me money or help me for my kids and for my 4 kids and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, and then when that's the case, what did they say? Niggas ain't ish.
Yes.
Because they're referring to the guy in the first clip.
Exactly.
He's the one getting them pregnant.
That's why I said don't complain.
Then you wonder why you got these kind of outcomes.
Don't complain. She's giving her womb out like it's sweeties. Like, stop giving your womb out. This is the issue we have. Stop giving your womb out to all these men. Just like with the first clip, he said he don't want no pitney. I'm sure if you speak to one of the 4 baby fathers she's got, one of them will say, I don't want to have a child with you. I told her that, and she still had it anyway. Then what do you expect? Don't complain. It's not like she had the first child, right, with that baby father, and then is that right, man? I made a mistake.
Okay, say he died or something. Because
that's different.
Okay, it's a mistake when it's not normal. This is the common thing in our community, right?
It is.
So if it's a mistake, I haven't really seen it. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have any counsel. I didn't have any advice. I don't know how to move.
That's different.
So then, but it's common in our community. And then the women that's in our community, the elder ones, see you doing it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, so good. From when you got your own car, your own house, your own this, and then your own ish. Let's talk about birth control. Women decide on who gets born. and who doesn't get born. So when it suits them, then if they when it suits them and they want to have the baby, they go to the hospital. But when it don't suit them, it's Planned Parenthood. So they pick and choose. The man doesn't have any choice in that decision.
He doesn't. No.
And that's jacked up also.
It is.
You've got how many forms of birth control and you don't choose any?
You should choose one.
I'm just saying, because there's how much forms of birth control, but yet you hear these women talking about, oh, I'd have a fifth, but you're on your fourth.
See, you ain't learned your lesson. And you're supposed to be on birth control. Would you not consider birth control after being on your fourth baby father? Really? Wow. Your fourth baby father, you're talking about having a fifth baby father if you wanted to. So no form of birth control.
Do you remember the Glorilla tune I was
please
showing you, right?
Yeah.
F and fuck nigga freak. See, and this is the young girls. That's their mentality. Not quick. Oh, he got me pregnant. Then I went and got it deleted. I ain't gonna worry about that no more.
Sneaky links.
This is the mentality of the young women today. How do you save them? And the funny thing is, the older women are co-signing this because they know, oh, you're gonna mess up because you're in competition. So they're saying, mess up so we can kind of pick up the slack when the guys in your time don't want you, because they bounce to those tunes.
I'm sorry, the older women are selfish. You're just selfish. You've gone through your life, made mistakes, done what you chose to do, right? Yeah, be my guest. You can do what you want in life. That's fine. But you don't tell the youngers, oh, this is where I effed up. Don't do this. Don't do that. No, you just continue saying, yeah, carry on applauding them for their crap and their foolishness that they're doing. And then the cycle continues all the time. Then you want to complain and moan about things that happen.
And then any woman, young female, that wants to come out of that, she's a pick-me.
Yeah,
the ones that call, no, but the ones that call you a pick-me are the ones that will do anything for the D.
So you're a pick-me.
So you're the biggest pick-me.
Exactly.
And try to shame other women for doing what you're already doing. Anyways, that's my thought on that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Put in the comments below. What do you guys think? Let us know your thoughts below. Anyways, let's move along. Here's the final clip of today. Here's clip number 3.
She was going on a date, right? So she went on an amazing date, and the following weekend, she was about to go on a date with another guy. The first weekend with the guy, she asked him, she said, are you going to call an Uber for me? And then he was just like, okay, like, where do you live? Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, he sorted it out.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
They had a great time. And she wasn't like she was asking like a dickhead. She was being really nice about it. She never just said like, I read it. So I analyzed like, okay, no, you asked really nicely. Anyway, needless to say, they had a good time. They went out. You know, they basically like bar hopped because, you know, it was one of them ones where you have such a good time. You don't want to go.
Let's go to the next place.
And she was telling me how like much they were just laughing and enjoying each other's company. The following week, she has a date with another guy.
A few moments later.
She says the exact same thing. She's talking to him really pleasantly. She says, are you going to sort out like an Uber or a cab for me? And then he says, no.
Who the fuck are you, bitch?
You could get like a cab, train, or bus yourself.
He's a bastard.
I'll be doing the same.
Did that not happen to me? That's happened to me.
Listen, that second guy was like, no, see, I see where we're going with this. You think you gonna finesse me? Because my first thought in hearing that clip was, who's paying for this? Then I went down to this. So you went on a date with guy number 1. She had a wonderful time. It was all good. It was all good a week ago. So she had a wonderful time. But then you're going on according to her, you're going on a second date with someone else. We had a wonderful time. So you're trying to finesse, man. You're trying to use these men for what you can get. Some women are serial daters. I get it, but just not on my dime. You could serial date if you paying for it, but at the same time, it's not just about money. It's about wasting my time.
Okay. To the women that serial date, where has it got you? Have you ended up with the Prince Charming that you wanted? Or are you still single?
They don't want that. They want to be able to go on, like, what's that thing that comes on the TV?
Love Island.
first dates.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
want to be able to go on them first dates. Guys wine and dine them. But then you think about this, right? Why is it the women, they will complain? So they complained about the guy number 2 that didn't want to send the Uber and pay, pretty much, right? But these are the very same women that want all the luxuries, but have zero bank account. So for what you say you want, you can't even provide for yourself. But you shame men for being you. Take a look in the mirror. I'm just saying.
You should take a look in the
Facts.
mirror. But this goes back to what we said in another podcast we did in regards to basically, should women date multiple men at the same time? Now, firstly, I don't think you should do that. I think you should date one man at a time. Now, going back to what she said.
How can you say that? So, okay, think about that tune. One man to me.
Exactly.
One man.
Yeah.
Some women, one man, two man,
man, 10
three
man,
man.
20.
Hold on. They can't say that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this is dating. I understand that's
saying.
giving your guts out. But I'm saying we're talking about dating, and obviously she is talking
It's
about
kind of
dating.
the same sentiment, though.
She's talking about dating. So I'm saying you said from her own ignition, right, that she had a wonderful time with the first guy.
Yeah.
Why are you moving on to the next guy? You said you had a great time. You said you had such a fantastic time. You didn't even want to go home.
Yeah.
Why are you
And she was
moving
happy
on?
to go to bars after that.
Exactly.
Bar hop, do her
So
thing.
this is my problem. Why are you moving on to the next man? You gave your energy, time, company, whatever to the first one. He done what you wanted him to do, right? He was nice enough to get you the Uber. He probably paid for the meal and whatever else. And then you want to give your attention to another guy who doesn't do that and then complain. You had the guy there. You had him. He was number one. When you went on the second, you went on the date the week after.
According to her, because I don't believe this chick or women like that on one date a week. They go on multiple dates through that week, and then they want to criticize the Tinder swindler for swindling women out of what they can swindle.
I want to ask, what is your ending goal? So you can be a serial dater all you want to be, right?
You know the answer to that. Women want to get as much resources out of men for not doing anything for it. Men want to get the guts without giving you anything for it. It's just a delicate dance in dating and intersexual dynamics that we play. It's just how the cookie crumbles, man.
What is your ending goal? Because eventually you're gonna want something. So what is that something you're gonna want when you're older?
So you're saying, let me break it down in layman terms. So you're saying, when it's all said and done, you play all these little games. Eventually, you're gonna want a man to take you seriously, but then you finesse so many men that it's probably gonna jack you up later on. That's what I think you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I hear that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's talk about safety. So, a random dude that you just met, you're telling him send an Uber to your house. See, because women are quick to say, "Oh, men are crazy." Yada, 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 reel off the list.
Some are.
They are. So then why, a man that you just met, are you telling him to send an Uber to your house? You don't know him. That's a flight risk. That's a safety risk. But yet, all you can see is foodie call. What he sees is booty call. And when he sees that you finessed him, he wants a return on his investment. And then before you know it, some BS is happening. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's right. But I'm saying from a safety perspective, are you being serious? Some people argue you don't need to get him to send the Uber to your actual address. Come on, man. You get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Don't get technical. You know where I'm going with this. So you're putting your own safety at risk just so you can get some free food. A chick was posting the other day. She hasn't bought shopping in how long because she finessed so many men out of food.
Yeah, it was a year or something like that.
That's some low vibrational ish, man.
That's crazy.
Come on, that's some low vibrational ish.
Look,
it is what it is.
I would just say there's so many women. You want to explore your options. You wanna be greedy, right? You wanna have your cake and eat it. You think the grass is greener on the other side. That's why you wanna run through so many men. That's why you wanna, cause dating
Because there is someone bossing them cheeks. Don't get
ain't
twisted.
it running through man. You're dating, right? You're a serial dater. Are you not running through man? So it doesn't matter what you're getting from the guy. You're running through these men for whatever you can get out of them. Why? Like I said before, what is your ending goal? So you do all these things, you run through the guys, get what you're getting, blah, 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 blah. Like you said earlier, you want to be taken seriously at some point in your life. End up like other podcasts we've recently done where she's 40, she don't have no kids, don't have no man, wondering who the hell's going to look after me. I'm 40 years old. We've done other podcasts, a 47-year-old woman.
Imagine this,
One second. A 47-year-old woman who is lonely and now wants to settle down at 47-year-old. This is your outcome.
But imagine we could fast forward
to the end.
And then we could rewind. Because some people could see their fate. Because right now I think a lot of chicks is like, oh, I want to do when I want to do it.
Do that.
Who's going to check me? My thing is this. They're quick to talk about I'm a boss babe, boss B, all of this, right? If you're an independent woman, pay for your own food. Last thing.
They ain't about to do that.
they're not going to do that. You know, they talk about, oh, I'm an independent lady. I've got this. You got what? You got what? At the end of the day, you still want a man to pay for you and take care of you. I mean, be traditional to you. You're just a modern woman. What does he get for his investment? Why waste your time in sending Ubers to this chick's house and taking her on a date and then bar hop, paying for her drinks, and then she goes with some next dude the following week? What type of fool do you think I am, man? The F out of here with that shit, man.
Who the fuck are you, bitch?
I'm just saying, because best believe, you know that there's another Pookie and Ray coming around busting them cheeks. This is my final thought. I think this chick in this thing, in this particular clip, I think she should stay home, study the theory test, get her license, and then instead of getting guys to send her Ubers and finessing them for free meals, get your license and drive your own self to where you need to go.
And pay for your meal.
Or even in saying that, should want a man to pay for the license, the theory test, the fuel, the insurance, and the car. See, we can't win. See, so men are waking up on the finesse game. I just think she needs to stay home, study her books, instead of trying to finesse men. That's what I think. Trying to finesse men out of free cheeks. Trying to hold back that ish. It is what it is. Anyway, that's my final thought. What do you want to add?
Yeah. Like I said, what's the outcome? What's your end result? Like, what do you want at the end? If you want to continue, be my guest. Do you, boo? But I would just say you should think about your future.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of women that are freeloaders. That's what it is nowadays. They're freeloaders. Pretty face, bad character.
Bad character.
I'm sure you heard the lyrics. You know I'm going with that. I'm glad men are aware today. And if they're not, they just listen to this. So they're aware now. See you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.